Good afternoon, everybody. This is one of two, I believe. Next session as well is running a panel. The last panel of the day and of the conference too. So it's been a good 2 days, really great 2 days. Great information, meeting up with people from operators and from the vendor side. My name is Erol Hepsaydir. I am an advisor, spent over 30 years in mobile industry, many different countries. And my last operator job was with 3UK, 20 years, around 20 years. Now, I would like to ask panelists to introduce themselves, your name and your work and which corporation, one by one. Start with you.
My name is Wendy Wheat. I work for T-Mobile. I have the fun job of operations, so running IT operations as well as bringing in cyber and network on a daily basis. So I've been with T-Mobile/Sprint, it'll be 25 years this year, so long time in the industry.
Mabel, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. So the best for the last, right, this panel. So I'm Mabel, so I'm part of Vodafone, and I lead the digital and zero-touch operations. We like long titles. So what does that mean? So I'm part of the operational team that looks after the network in Europe and Turkey, and my team is responsible to help the operations, to change the ways of working and to digitalize or automate with automation technologies and data and AI, what we do.
Excellent. Alexis?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm Alexis Collet. I'm coming from Orange. I've been working for Orange for almost 11 years. And currently at Orange, I'm leading the operation strategy and transformation and designing all the recommendations regarding process excellence and efficiency. And we are supporting all the affiliates to implement these recommendations for operation excellence.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here. We have the best slot.
Yes.
See, we got people. I'm Mikal Friedman. I'm VP Marketing for RADCOM. We work with telcos on improving their customer experiences by monitoring the network end-to-end, from the RAN to the core, bringing all the data in, providing insights and analytics to improve customer experiences. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Excellent. We have got 3 major operators, I have to say, and also very good automation company. So hopefully, my intention is actually to make it a bit interactive. If you would like to contribute to the discussions, please put your hand up. Or if you have got any questions, yeah, feel free, okay? Before we walked in here, I said to the panelists, I said, look, I will take a few minutes just to talk about, a few years of this mobile industry. That probably will show my age, but I was talking to vendors just out there and also operators about the automation, their products, and what is happening. And there seems to be some activities happening. It's not really fully deployed everywhere, but there are some work, which is small, but it is still a good start, I believe. Over the years, operators have been buying spectrum, deploying network elements, new technologies, new services, the number of services going up and up and up, but they were using their legacy network management tools to manage all this complexity. And I believe that was going to change soon, very soon, because operators started to look into different concepts, which is first step is the automate the networks. And after that, GenAI and AIOps and all those concepts will follow slowly. I think when I look at the concept about the legacy tools and also the new concepts, we as operators, I call still myself operator, we have to be smarter. We have to be more intelligent to make sure that the networks are operated in a effortlessly, I should say. So in this panel, we will hear from operators, and they are investing time and I believe money as well on autonomous networks. And hopefully, actually, we will make some clarification on that. And also, we have got a vendor, and we will hear from RADCOM as well. Okay. AI is destined to transform many, many industries. However, in telco industry with AIOps and GenAI as key drivers, it is quite crucial to improve customer experience. My question is GenAI in telco operations really a game changer? Is it what everybody's looking forward to? So maybe we start with Mabel, and then we...
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, I believe it is, but it's one of the game changers. So it's not the only game changer in our industry. So why I say that? So I believe if I look at, and I start with GenAI, and then I go backwards in terms of technologies. So generative AI, brings a very quick result and simplification for certain things. So it's really, really good in, and we've seen it today, yesterday, and across, the industry, troubleshooting, with the imaging on deployment. So there is a lot of really, really good use cases that expedite on how we get into the delivery. So I see, in certain aspects of our operations, it is a game changer. It is not the only one. AI, it still plays a crucial work and a crucial role in the things that we do. There is many things that, with the fault management data, inventory data, unit statistical analysis, correlation models, to come onto an outcome, and that's when we use statistical or AI as well. But not only that, we also need to remember that we need to change the way that we operate and we do things, right? And that's where automation technologies like orchestrators, bots, that, you could now build, or we're talking about agents, can also help. So I think, yes, it is a game changer, but we cannot just move on the hype that GenAI will solve everything. And we have learned throughout these 2 years that sometimes that technology is not good for certain things, and it's okay. So I think it's super key that we choose the right technology for the right aspects, and it is one of the game changers, for our automators' journey.
Thank you. And Alexis, what's your view?
Yeah, thank you. Definitely, as Mabel was saying, I think it's a game changer for Orange, because today it's not just shifting technology or implementing a new fancy technology, is reshaping the way we are creating the value for Orange. Means that how do we build our solution, how do we redesign, the way we are capturing the value, because we create the value and then we capture the value through API exposure, new capabilities, and so on. And moreover, the way we deliver this value to the final customers. And when it's come to delivering the value, it's about operating model. How do we reshape, rethink, redesign all our processes, tools, and operations to be able to deliver the best connectivity to our customers.
Thank you. And Mikhail, from a vendor point of view?
From a vendor point of view, so we definitely see this as a game changer. We heard it in the past 2 days. It was all around. And as Alexis just said, we need to see how we help telcos deliver the value to customers. I kind of see it evolving in different stages. So the first stage would be rather quick, and we already see this happening in the call center, customer care, having machines answer, giving more effective service and probably a better one. But if you take that and you start creating models of customer satisfaction, understanding what customers like or don't like, you're able to bring more value to these customers. That's something that will definitely be a game changer. Once you start getting, we talked about this before the panel, the truth of the data and understanding the real, each subscriber level data. And when you take that a step further, that will be the real game changer into network operations, understanding where issues are, solving them in advance before customers even understand that things happened. That will definitely be the real game changer. I believe this is a bit more down the line, and we're starting to see the beginning of these solutions being evolved. And I think this will definitely become one of the game changers, as Mabel said. Not the only one, of course, but we're focusing on that one here.
Excellent. Wendy, would you like to add anything on top of, or?
I guess just I would have to agree with everybody what they've said, right? I think what will be really, really awesome and looking forward to personally in an operations role, right, is just the connecting all of the data so tightly, so that ultimately we get to this place where we're not having humans and we have everything automated, so that people can sleep at night and are no longer up doing software deployments, right, and supporting databases and the network when things come down.
Yeah. I think it is, if you look at the AIOps, what it delivers is autonomous networks and making efficiency, increasing the efficiency of the organization, I should say. It is definitely one of the other concepts to be called as a game changer. Right? I mean, we heard a lot about actually data today and yesterday, the data collected in the network. You can imagine data is coming from, I also talked to some vendors outside, about the volume of data, the storage of data, analysis of data, how fast, and there's something to think about. And the data is coming from all network elements, from radio, maybe thousands of radio-based stations or whatever, and different technologies, different spectrum, different services. There are hundreds of services sitting on this network. And the data is flowing in, customer experience, management, there's a lot of things, data coming in. Alexis, how do you think operators will tackle the data challenges? Because there is something there, and I think we heard in the conference as well, there are some challenges, and how do we leverage the power of AIOps using that data?
Yeah, thank you, Erol. Beyond the data quality, which is critical and key to having right processes, taking the right decision based on the right insight, I think my dream as director of operations strategy is to having a standard data model where I can use to map all the data I can have in my networks so that I can feed my process with a process mining approach so that I can optimize my processes to optimize the flow in operations and also to accelerate decision making so that I can ease the job of ops guys so that they can be more proactive, not reactive, and they can build, I may say, or leverage prescriptive and preventive maintenance in our system so that we can anticipate all the issues. So the data model and standardization is key beyond the quality, because the quality is not negotiable, but we need to be able to streamline all this data in all our processes in different steps so that we can ease and improve our operations processes.
Wendy?
Yeah, I would say from a data aspect, I kind of think of it as a stool, right? You've got your three legs of this piece, right? So you've got your data management, you've got your automation piece of this, and then you've got your AI/ML. So all of those pieces are going to have to work together to enable making sure that you have the right data, the clean data that you need, and then going into the next step of AIOps and Gen is having the tools and everything set up correctly so that you can actually execute on them, right? And so I think it's really important to make sure as a company you're spending the time to ensure that those three legs of the stool, you don't cut any corners with that, and you make sure that you set it up correctly so that you are as effective as you can be.
I think you're right. I mean, the data is coming, and you mentioned about standard size. This is kind of important, because if the data is all over the place, you have to really work hard and get the data right. Mikhail, any view on that?
Yeah, I want to add a different angle. It's also about the amount of data, not just the processing of it. We see in RADCOM with the evolvement of accelerated computing, that we're able to offer a more cost-effective solution for processing huge amounts of data. So this is something we also see happening and evolving, and something that needs to be considered with GenAI solutions. So in order to get the right results out of GenAI and in the future agentic AI solutions, you will need to really get into the granularity of the data, and for that you need to process huge amounts of data, which is something that has been really too costly for telcos in the past, and is something that needs to be evolved and processed better going forward. So that's another angle on the data.
Right. Mabel, in the first question, you mentioned about correlation of data as well. I think if I didn't hear that, And is there anything you can add on that?
Yeah, so in terms of the data quality and then the relation, so we're looking now to move or to consider data as a product. So we make sure that we understand that data is key and it's an outcome that we can use then to do things, and the ownership and the producers of the data and the consumers of the data are aware of that. So you might have heard, some of the NEPs or the vendors are having that concept. So we're really moving towards, considering the type of buckets of data that the different processes, the different activities, aggregating them and looking at, how we use data as a product for that data that needs to be structured. Obviously, GenAI, sometimes don't need that structure, but, we're looking at, how, the agents of the future or some of the things, we move to that data as a product, because I think the key to data is that usually the producers of the data are not the consumers, and it's not because they don't want to put clean data, they don't know the damage they're doing to the users of the data, right? So with that concept of making sure that this is a product and everyone understands, how good or bad is that product, we're trying to create that mindset shift of how we need to make sure that, data is gold.
I mean, if the data is not right data, I mean, what can AI do? It's just, it has to be right data to get the right outcome from the machine. But again, it's artificial intelligence. It will correct itself at some stage. I mean, at the moment, as we know, it's highly competitive mobile industry. And the customer experience is the crucial factor or differentiator for the operators to compete in that market. And today, operators are shifting their focus, or I believe they are, on customer experience-based KPIs more than network KPIs. Of course, network KPIs are always there. Network engineers look after them, but there is a focus on the customer experience, kind of how we can identify customer experience failures or customer experience problems so we can fix them using the customer experience KPIs. And we heard from Hutchison Hong Kong yesterday, and he was saying that actually there are problems happening on the certain applications or services, but they cannot see anything in the network. There's nothing wrong. So they deployed this agentic AI, and it started monitoring the network on OTTs and started to see some small changes in the OTT behavior. And it was reporting, and they were solving the problems of not all customers, but small section of the network. So that means, to me, it means that actually having a customer experience, customer service management approach would help customers more than KPIs, because you may not detect certain things in the KPIs. So, Wendy, can GenAI truly offer hyper-personalized services and improve customer experience?
So my take on this is I focus, a lot of my customers are internal, right? So I'm making sure that internally our company is running as it should across the board. And so, I'm absolutely looking forward to the fact that as we build out our tools, we are able to better customize the views, the data, the information that my internal customers, so that I can keep my sales, retail, digital folks up and going. So I'm absolutely looking forward to getting the data out there and information out there so that I can make sure my internal customers have the systems they need to be able to service our big C, right? And so from my perspective, I would say, once we have all of the pieces of that stool stood up, right, and the information there, I very much look forward to having a customized experience for my internal customers so that we are better equipped to serve our external customers in the long run.
Mikal?
Definitely. So as I said before, and I agree with Wendy, once you get into the processes of customer experience, and we hear from telcos around the world the focus on customer experience-based networks, one of the things that we are offering and we started to work on is analyzing customer complaints. So when you have GenAI suggest resolutions after analyzing many of the customer complaints coming in, and correlating that, finding if there's a real network issue, correlating that with other customer complaints, seeing if other customers are impacted, then you definitely, in that sense, can suggest resolutions that are specific per customer, and by that offer personalized experiences. When you take it a bit forward in the future, and this will require a bit more, as we said before, more reasoning capabilities and the ability to analyze huge amounts of data that are not always in human form and not always structured. So once we get to that, we will be able to also customize the network, create actual services that are really personalized, and then the customers will be able to get a real personalized service out of that. So definitely we see this as the future for GenAI and agentic AI going forward, where they're able to also take action on the network and configure and customize services. So definitely yes.
Yes, Mabel, maybe you want to?
Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely see, and even with traditional technologies with AI. So we have some cases, especially for fixed customers, where sometimes we send technicians to their house. They're busy, they change something we believe is fixed, but then they go again. And all of that is tracked and recorded in our systems, right? So we have, in some operating companies, the integration of, the automation through the network systems with the automation with the customer operations to link those two data and to say, we know we were in your house, a couple of weeks ago, but it seems that the problem wasn't this, and we're going to fix that. So in the fixed space, where there's sometimes a lot of fine-tuning for the routers or for the other parts, we see already quite a lot of personalized customer experience. But definitely with the advantage of GenAI, we all want chatbots that don't answer to you. Can you give me your ID? What is your contract ID? Right? That they know all of that, right? Yeah. So we all hate to call a customer line and then you have to repeat yourself, what's my customer ID? So definitely I think there is much more we can do in that space.
Yeah. Yeah, just quickly to complement, it's, I think today, I was saying that GenAI and AI is reshaping the way we are delivering the value, and today if you consider Net Promoter Score, you can say that you are rocking and you are delivering the value, but today we see with data and AI, we can go more over than just measuring the NPS with customer value management based on the behavior, emotions, and depending on the time, the location, the weather, and you can learn from the data and how they behave. And also we define a new metric we call customer frustration indicator. So it's if you are able to handle the customer complaint very quickly, very fast, they will be less frustrated and they will be less happy, more happy, so that you can improve their experience and they will answer more positively to your survey than if you take more time and don't learn from their behavior. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. This is the last question. And while many operators recognize the potential of GenAI and AIOps most are in early stages of deployment or still in the evaluation stage or thinking about, oh, that sounds good, really great, go to conferences and learn from other people at that stage. And it was very good. In the previous conference, operators were claiming that maybe in 5 years' time there will be some deployments quite a bit, or in 2030 there will be major deployments, which is good to see. But today, it is still early stages. There are some operators might have done more than many others. And from your organizations, looks like you have done quite a bit as well. So what practical guidance would you offer to the operators who are still through this transformation stage in terms of prioritizing quick wins, like automate workflows, or is a long-term kind of investment? Which way do you think they should be going? Just like a quick win, or sit down and make a long plans and then, what do you think? Mabel, what do you think?
I think it's a combination, like everything in life, right? So you cannot wait. So we are not any longer allowed, or to wait for years for these transformations, right? So unfortunately, we can't. So we really need, to leverage, the quick wins, but have that vision, and that vision might be changing depending on your demands and your needs. But you really need to look at what is the picture that I wanna get to, and then iterate and learn along the way. And one advice that I will say, it's not only about technology. It's also about the people, our mindset, our culture, and the processes. I think many of us, take new technologies and operate them like the old way. So I think as an industry, we have brilliant technologies, but are we operating them in the way that those technologies are now being created? So I think we need to learn from some of the challengers that we have, and do this, right? So we need to change the way that we operate, and learn from each other. Yes. So I think that's the thing that I would say, like, watch not only the cool technology, but also we need to upskill our people, having an open mindset, and change the way that we do things. So that will be my advice.
It is really interesting, actually, to hear every single panel, these people came up as the main I'm not saying blocking, but slowing down the process of moving into automation side, which is interesting. Humans are creating AI and automation, and on the other hand, that's a different story. Is there any questions from the floor? Any questions to our panelists? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can give you my opinion. So if we talk about GenAI, it's a technology that is moving super fast, right? And you can scale super fast. The things that we need to watch is how that fast also increase the cost fast. So I think, and there is a lot of documentation about all of that. So in this technology, it's super essential that you spend more time on the testing phase and evaluating, the support model, the cost, and so on and so forth. And then, you step approach, how fast, you evolve. Because it is a risk, but you just need to manage the risk and put the right, triggers, to make sure that it doesn't become an issue. But it is, I definitely see it as a risk, but I think it's a well-known risk, very well discussed in the industry, and I think we need to watch and learn not to, with the hype, go super fast and increase the cost dramatically.
I mean, yeah, oh. Okay. Yeah, one more question, actually. Is that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can give an opinion on that because the European regulation is an opportunity to learn and innovate, but it also can be a setback for innovation. But it pushes us to differentiate what are the sensitive data we must keep inside our on-premise environment so that we can train the model inside, and which one are not sensitive so that we can push them on the cloud to determine and make a kind of border to be sure we are fulfilling the regulator requirement. And this is a challenge. It's an opportunity to rethink and also to reshape the way we are using and putting our data. But let's see if in the next coming years we are on the right way or we are still struggling for that. Yeah.
Excellent. Having said that, thank you very much. Thank you to panelists, and thank you all for being here. And good questions. I wish we could take a bit longer, but you know. Thank you very much, and please join me.
Yeah, thank you.